It's tax day today. Many folks have not filed yet. Let's learn a little bit more about this from Joe Mastriano, who's a CPA and IRS problem specialist for Fox News Radio. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, with the weather this bad, it's all the more reason not to run out and look for a tax preparer to do your tax return. Just go online and get an extension form, and then go to the post office and make sure it's stamped by midnight tonight. But that's the name of the game now. File an extension. Don't do crazy things. All these people, they run and they find someone and they got to get their return done. And, you know, your tax return requires an understanding of your tax situation. And plus, you don't want to get audited. That's the name of the game now. This past year, audits were horrendous. IRS auditors disallowing deductions when you have receipts. Nobody wants to go through an audit. It costs money, headaches, plus additional taxes. What you want to do is avoid an audit. The way you do that and have the most accurate return is file a Form 4868, your extension. File your return by October 15th, not April 15th. And by the end of August, beginning of September, the IRS has ready for you all the W-2s, 1099s, K-1s, all the information that third parties filed on you. And you match those numbers up on your return individually. Otherwise, if they don't match up, the matching program will catch it, and you'll be audited. So it's crazy to file by April 15th. You don't have all the information available that the IRS has on you, and you risk being audited. Actually, I have this information on a free download on my website, 74-page download. It's not a sales guide. If people will Google Killer IRS, it'll actually tell you how to deal with the IRS, talk to the IRS. If you owe money, how to set up a quick installment agreement on your own.
Joe, as you've mentioned on this show, for folks who are filing late, they got to be careful because there are a lot of folks out there who claim to be tax specialists but really aren't.
Right. Well, I recommend people go to a licensed professional law firm or CPA firm. Each state licenses professionals. That's how you make sure you're not ripped off. I mean, anything can always happen. Nobody's totally immune. But we're responsible. We have a license. If we lie and cheat, to take people's money, or put phony deductions down, we can lose our license for it. All these other people that are not licensed get away with murder sometimes. It's amazing. So you need to go to a licensed professional firm that also has audit experience. Those days are gone by where you just read the instruction forms and put the numbers in the returns.
You've heard and seen a million of those tax horror stories. Give us a couple of the worst ones you've had to deal with.
Well, there's fraud. Tax fraud is rampant now, and we get emails. We got one the other day. Somebody is screaming. They called the IRS, and they won't let them file the return. And somebody filed a return with their name and Social Security number on it. And they're trying to deal with someone at the IRS saying, hey, that's not my return. I never filed. And they don't want to take their return. And now we have to call the IRS to get it straightened out. And the IRS does have a great program for it, but the horror stories come from, you get people that pick up the phone at the IRS that don't want to help and things like that. Other horror stories are people that think you have 3 years to get any refunds. So if you haven't filed in years, you're not going to offset what you paid with other years you owe. If it's 3 years past the due date of the return, which is April 15th, if you don't file an extension, they keep that money, and then you have to pay for the other years that you owe. And I had a guy, it was like $150,000. He thought he was getting a credit, and the IRS kept it. People that think they have deductions. Oh, I got a guy, he's in the service. He was in Iraq. They had to move him around into the embassy because it was a war zone. And the IRS decided that there's a big deduction you get for employment overseas. And they decided that based on the type of method he used, which was an acceptable method, that they weren't going to accept that method anymore. He became a resident of a foreign country for convenience. So it's terrible. You got soldiers fighting, giving their lives, and the IRS is taking credit away.
All right, Joe is a CPA and IRS problem specialist for Fox News Radio, Joe Mastriano. Before we let you go, Joe, what's your website again?
Taxproblem.org. It's easy. Just Google Killer, Killer, space IRS.
All right, Joe, thanks so much.
Well, thank you. Glad to help.